Good afternoon. Today the subcommittee will hold an open hearing, so we will come to order, in which all members of the House have been invited to testify on their priorities for fiscal year 2026, Department of Defense Appropriations Act. Of course, we haven't done FY25, but I'd just bring that up. The subcommittee obviously receives thousands of member requests per year. Ranking Member McCollum and I take requests from both sides of the aisle very seriously. We also take our constitutional responsibility to provide our nation's defense seriously as well. As we are well aware, the world is in chaos. Not just the world, Washington, D.C. China is increasingly aggressive by the day, and it continues to act as a bully in the Indo-Pacific. The war in Ukraine continues. Israel remains under threat from Iranian proxies and continues to recover following a brutal, unprovoked attack by the terrorist group Hamas. Therefore, it is vital that the United States have the capability and capacity to respond to those who wish us harm. While I recognize we must complete our work on FY25, we must also begin to lay the foundation for fiscal year 26 Department of Defense Appropriations Act in order to respond to these threats. Again, I'm hopeful we can soon complete FY25 bill and build upon the great work this subcommittee has put into delivering that product. We must continue to find ways we can work together to increase efficiencies within the Department of Defense, invest and innovate in the capacities and capabilities our service members need, and provide them with the quality of life they deserve. I thank the members that are here, provide testimony in support of those goals. I now recognize the distinguished ranking member, Ms. McCollum, for her opening remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I look forward to hearing more about the priorities of the members testifying for us before us today. As you said, there are many challenges that we are facing as a country, and we are facing some challenges, very serious challenges, in my opinion, here as a nation, as we try to organize ourselves to make sure that we provide the services the American people need. You pointed out China and some other hot spots, but I would just take a second to reflect on the citizens of Ukraine who are under constant bombardment and threat for an unprovoked war by Russia trying to change maps and questioning rule of law. And as we think about the hostages in Gaza and the Palestinians that are also being released, let us keep in mind the children of Ukraine who have been kidnapped and held captive in Russia. With that, I yield back.
I thank the gentlelady. We'll now begin with members' testimony. Without objection, all testimony submitted by members will be entered in the record. So ordered. Each member will have 5 minutes for their remarks. When their timer turns yellow, you have 1 minute remaining. The gentleman from Indiana is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Calvert and Ranking Member McCollum, for holding this hearing today. I'm grateful for the opportunity to come before this committee and share my defense priorities for the upcoming fiscal year. Throughout my tenure in Congress, my top appropriations priority has always been ensuring that the Humvees maintain strong funding that continues to support military readiness and the U.S. industrial base. This remains my top priority this year. Mr. Chairman, you and I have spoken several times about the importance of the light tactical vehicle programs, especially the Humvees, to my constituents, our warfighters, and the broader industrial base. It is essential that we continue strong funding to support this vital program, as well as the Joint Light Tactical Vehicle Program. AM General has proudly been manufacturing Humvees in Mishawaka, Indiana for the past 40 years. AM General's innovation, resourcefulness, and constant modernization has made the Humvee the cornerstone of the LTV fleet for the past 4 decades. The Humvee has served on countless missions at home and abroad. Currently, the National Guard is deploying with Humvees in their mission to secure the southern border. AM General's long history of manufacturing Humvees has positioned the company to be a new manufacturer for the Army's Joint Light Tactical Vehicle A2 variant, or JLTV. The JLTV A2 has a greater payload, blast protection, and armoring capability due to its weight and size relative to the lighter, more mobile Humvee. The JLTV A2 is now in production in a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility that features more than 250 enhancements to the original JLTV, which provides greater mobility, reliability, and technical capabilities. As you know, the Humvee and JLTV are essential to ensuring the Army and Marine Corps' readiness for today's missions and potential future threats. The Army has publicly stated that there will be over 49,000 JLTVs and 55,000 Humvees in the fleet until at least the year 2050. However, the Humvee fleet continues to suffer from inadequate budgets from the Defense Department, requiring Congress year after year to step in and fund these critical vehicles. By 2030, the average age of our Humvee fleet will be 20 years old, and the oldest vehicles will be over 40 years old. This shows the pressing need to start replacing these aging vehicles with new, modernized variants. The new Humvee model has increased safety measures, increased power, reliability, and crew protection, which is critical to the success of our warfighters. Your leadership is critical to ensuring the Army and the Marine Corps LTV strategy is properly resourced in order to combat the constantly changing threats posed to the United States. Vehicles are often deprioritized in the budget process as they aren't as exciting or high-tech. But the fact remains that they're a critical part of military operations, from mobilizing to meet global threats to securing our border here at home. These investments must continue to be made and maintain readiness levels of our armed forces. AM General alone proudly employs more than 1,100 hardworking Americans across their Midwest facilities. The broader LTV industrial base stretches across 43 states and to over 1,100 supplier businesses. Chairman Calvert and Ranking Member McCollum, I specifically ask that you include $200 million for the National Guard Humvee Modernization Program, as well as the highest possible funding for JLTVs in fiscal year 2026 Defense Appropriations Bill. The National Guard Association of the U.S. proudly supports this funding year after year, with over 25 adjuncts general, including mine in my home state of Indiana, all voicing support. These funds are essential to maintaining a robust domestic industrial base and the strongest military readiness. Additionally, Humvees are playing a critical part in executing President Trump's directives to secure the southern border and strengthen national security. Thank you for your time today, and I look forward to continuing to work with you during this year's defense appropriations process.
Well, Mr. Chairman, if I could attest to my friend's district here and having taken this into combat myself, both up-armored and unarmored, it was a stalwart for us for U.S. forces in Iraq, and protected many of our service members' lives and delivered them on target rapidly and safely. And so I'm a strong proponent of both of these programs. So thank you for coming today.
I thank the gentleman from Indiana. If there's no other questions, you're hereby relieved.
Thank you, Chairman,
Okay.
Ranking Member, and
Thank you.
Vice Chair Elsley.
Appreciate it. Is there any other member of Congress who would like to testify in front of the committee? We had a list, but they're not here. So if there's no other members, we will conclude. I want to thank the members again for testifying to the subcommittee today. The input's vital as we move forward fiscal year 26. At this time, I'll recognize Ms. McCollum for any comments.
No, we just, as you pointed out, we need to get 25 done, start working on 26, and I'm ready to do it with you.
All right, let's do it. Okay, with that, thank you, and hereby adjourned.